Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the one, the only, welcome to RaceFace.Pro for the final round of the F4 Season 2 to be done and dusted right here at the Red Bull Ring. And thank you very much for joining us for Season 2. It's been absolutely an amazing one and can't wait to see how it's all going to work out come the end of the evening. We will be crowning a new champion tonight for our Season 2. We will be fighting it out with some incredible showcase of talent right the way through, and it's going to get bigger, it's going to get faster, it's going to become more and more incredible tonight, and can't wait to see how it's all going to work out. My name is Stephen Koenig, and glad to have you guys all here in the grandstands. I see the timing tower's a little bit confused as it stands to get things up and going. Come on, live tower, please do me a favor and get yourself back on the road. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Red Bull Ring. As we saw last week in the TCRs, it was an ultimate decider for many of our drivers as they look to go and fight their way through. As we got Dirk Herber currently making his way around the circuit, we have got Troy Dolenchik also out there on the track looking to try and improve his times this evening. We've got Jason Coetzee along with Noah Hendricks, Luke Lucchesi, Jeff Hancock, Timothy Stanton, Johan Fourie, Tristan de Norbrugge, Elena Ritzken, Werner Skuman, Basil Vermaat, and Nico Killerman rounding out our grid this evening right here at the Red Bull Ring. For some odd reason, it looks like our timing tower is misbehaving. So let's see if we can try and rectify that situation as quick as we can, because we want to see our live timing tower. There it is! Finger trouble of note. And we're on to our qualifying session. Yes, I have figured out a new button, by the way. And now we can have sector times pulling all the way through for the qualifying. And take a look at who's in the grandstands. We got Visti Stalgrad. Yay, what a voice out there. Well, I think it's yay, what an exciting time we got out. And I'm actually looking forward to battling it out with yourself, Visti, and Butsev in the Mazdas coming this Friday. Team Heap Together will be battling it back out in the Ukraine. So keep an eye on the mirrors. And when you pass me, just at least wave and say hi. It helps with my confidence. But tonight we're going to be talking about the amazing racing out on the track for our pros and pro-ams. And the championship points is just something I want to lean on to, because get ready to see a championship set that is like no other, with our pros and pro-ams all looking to try and improve before tonight's race. And let's see if we can bring up those championship points. There it is. So, for our pros, Luke Lucchesi leading out the charge with Jan Fourie in second place, Willem Buerta in third, Herman Lazarus in fourth, Timur Arvelik in fifth place, making his debut season in the race face, and actually debut run in South African sim racing. So he's lying in fifth, which is good to see. We've got Troy Dolenchik in sixth place, Yuri Umpi-Swar, followed by Dino Sturman, Chase Herald, Jason Coetzee, Elena Ratkin, also making debut season right here at RaceFace.Pro for the South African racing. Artie Nachel and David Postkov rounding out our field once again. Our debut runners all the way over from the Ukraine. Moving on to our pro-ams for tonight, and this is where it gets spicy. Timothy Stanton out in first place. Dirk Herber and Noah Hendricks tied in points for the second place, followed by Lo Rangley, Daniel Fernandez, Basil Vermaat, and Vladislav Mikhailov rounding out our field. Only 1 point separating those two this evening. And we will have some more drivers joining in come Heat 2, where we've got Gary Fleming who is from the voice of Second Gear Productions. He's coming in to have a bit of fun. First time ever in a single-seater, and I am going to point that out. First time ever in a single-seater, not only in sim racing, but ever. So really looking forward to seeing how he does tonight. But out on the circuit, Troy Dolenchik leading out the charge with a 1:32 as his best lap time. Then you've got Jason Coetzee out in second place. Third, Luke Lucchese. Fourth, Jan Ferree. Werner Skuman in fifth place. First of our Pro-Ams is Noah Hendricks. He's gone to grips with it. He's been battling a bit this season with the car. Lying second in the championship, though, that is going to give him a little bit more of a spur on. He's used to high downforce vehicles, so he should be able to work rather well, especially on the circuit being one of his favorites. Timothy Stanton in seventh place, second of our Pro-Ams. Jeff Hancock's out there in sixth of our pros, eighth overall. Doug Herber, ninth overall, and third in class. Tristan de Norbrugge still needing to put in a time. Alana Ratzkin, Vasil from Arts, and Nico Killerman still needing to put in a lap time as it stands. Luke Lucchese so far through the fastest sector in Sector 1, doing a great job trying to improve his lap time and get that little bit more pace. Will Sector 2 be beneficial this time around? Sliding the car in, trying to get it all into check and power their way through as he gets it all sorted out. Sector 2 is a little bit more comfortable. Jason Coetzee out in second place has done his best first and second sector. Luke Lucchese was the fastest in his first sector overall, but Troy Dolenchik, who is down on the lap times at the moment. He's up into first place, but really needs to get the hammer down if he wants to keep ahead of the stiff competition tonight. And like I said, we will be crowning some new champions to this evening, and I can't wait for it. Luke Lucchese putting in first place, and he's going to be really getting a bit more of a run. Let's take a look out of turn 1. This is onboard Luke Lucchese as he gives it everything he's got. Now this is a bit of a chase up to turn 3, because actually turn 2 is this little kink over here because it has a little bit more of a 15-degree angle. Hard onto the brakes, got to get it all together. Second gear, get an early drive, watch for the rear to come out. It actually bottoms out quite badly there, so you've got to be so careful on the throttle through turn 3. Carry the pace down all the way through. Now heading towards turn 4. And this is going to be hard onto the brakes, down into third gear, carry the momentum early on the throttle, run it very, very wide. You can go rather wide on that last little bit to get some pace. Now it's all about feathering the throttle, fourth gear, half throttle, all the way, 90%, then you back it down. You want to go back to about 85% throttle, back on the throttle, foot flat through the right-hander. Get yourself to the edges of the circuit, allow the car to roll its way through, and now it's heading down to the final 2 corners. This is where it catches a lot of people out. As we saw with the likes of our TCRs, you can get off tracks, lose a bit of time at our final corner, doing exactly that to Luke Lucchese, and now going on his cooldown lap. So that really does show what this track is all about and how it's going to really test our drivers. Luke Lucchese getting a fast third, that's Noah Hendricks getting a fast third sector. Troy Dolenchik getting a very, very quick sector 2. Jason Coetzee down in third place, hoping to get a little bit more pace underneath him and get a little bit more drive to close down the top. At the moment, the times are very, very close. Take a look at that. From 1st to 11th are all within under a second. From 1st to 4th, I do apologize, are under a second of one another. They are all in that 132 mark, which is brilliant to see. But we're also going to be seeing the 133s as tires taper off, and 34s is a little bit slow at the moment, but will improve. Noah Hendricks, though, is on a bit of a drive. 5th place and first of the Pro-Ams. This will be his first time leading out our Pro-Ams off the start, if he can keep up the pace at the moment, just not getting the drive. Tristan de Norbriger, on the other hand, who is still putting in a lap time, fastest through Sector 2, trying to get a little bit more drive. Got his fellow RDSA driver right behind him, keeping a bit of pace as they fight their way through. This is going to be a proper run for the drivers as they claw their way through. Now, for anyone that is just joining us, where have you been? It's good to see you, but where have you been? And we've got 2 heats this evening along with 2 qualifyings. So we got 2 15-minute qualifyings, one's before each heat, and 2 20-minute heats essentially to go and have a bit of fun in these Formula 4s. And it's not an easy thing. Bear in mind, our drivers will be looking to step up the pace this evening, hoping to get a little bit more pace underneath them, hoping that it will be close enough to the front end of the field. There is our drivers' times at the moment. You can see that Nico Kellerman and Tristan de Norbriger still needing to put a lap time on the board, as they are just running those off tracks a little bit too much. This is a fixed setup series, which is incredible because it does allow a more natural progression for drivers to come through, get to grips with the car and get going, especially if you're not too familiar with working on single-seaters and the way they behave. And trust me, sometimes it can be an absolute joy, and sometimes these cars can be a rather bit of a pig to get around as they fight their way through. So, talking about a couple of drivers coming from across the waters to battle us out. And we have got the first of our Ukrainians lying in 6th place. This is Ratsukin going and giving it everything he's got. And then down in 11th place, his fellow teammates. It's going and sporting a different livery this evening, might I add. Something a little bit more open and about. And then you have got the likes of Vasil Framatz, who is going to a purple, yellow, blue, so a little bit different as well. So a couple of liveries being swapped up for this final race to go and enjoy and have a bit of fun. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there on the grandstands, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, and let me know, who do you think is going to score it tonight? Who's going to come in first? Who's going to come in second? Who's going to come in third? For both our Pro and Pro-Am. And remember, at the moment, Do Herber and Noor Hendricks are going and fighting it out for second place in the championship. Timothy Stanton, currently first in the championship, lying second place. He's got a bit of spacing. First place in class gets 50 points. You heard me right. 50 points for Heat 1 and 50 points for Heat 2. So there is 100 points on the line for these drivers tonight. And just as a reminder, if you're just joining us, take a look at how close the championship is. As this is our pros, Luc Lucchesi on 144 points. Then you've got Jan Free on 133. Willem Buerta on 127. Herman Lazarus on 107. With Tamir on 106 right behind him. And Herman Lazarus is not in this qualifying session, and neither is Tamir at this point. So Tamir going to be missing out, but Troy Dolanchik is going to be more than happy to put himself into the fighting position. Our Pro-Am is also going to be one to keep an eye out for. Timothy Stanton stamping his authority for the F4s, but second and third is still up for grabs. And don't count out Lo Rangley and Daniel Fernandez at the moment. They still have a chance to go and fight it out for the final run. And this is going to be a proper fight. 13 cars on the grid, so a little bit smaller than what we have seen in a long time. We've seen that drop off due to here in South Africa, we are suffering from a thing called load shedding. And that is, I'm not talking about going on a dietary program. I'm talking about we have no power. So like myself, I'm running on hybrid at the moment. Battery powered generator, so I've got a bit of petrol engine and electric engine keep me going for the evening to bring all the amazing action for a class that I truly love, the Air Force. Visti Solgrad saying, my odds on Do Herber, go, go, go. Yes, Do Herber does stand a chance. He's down into 11th position for the starting line. Troy Dolanchik currently in first place. Luke Lucchese down in Sector 1, down in Sector 2. Don't think he's going to get it across the line this time around. And it comes across the line. He puts himself into second place. Jason Coetzee holding third place. But let's see if Johan Fourie will be able to break that little run. Currently up in Sector 1, down in Sector 2. Let's see if Sector 3 is going to be any better as he powers his way through down to the wire now. Not going to be a difficult one. He does move himself up into third place. Jason Coetzee into fourth. Noah Hendricks in fifth. Werner Schumann. Timothy Stanton comes across the line. He's not able to better his last lap time. And Doug Herber trying to get the jump on fellow teammate Jeff Hancock's ahead of him. But down in all three sectors. That is him out and out for that. So our running order will be as such. So while we get our final tally of who is where, it is time to get racing, ladies and gentlemen, and I promise you, it is going to be an absolute scorcher out here in the world of Red Bull Ring for the final round. This is the first heat of our final round out here in Austria, Spielberg, with a 4.2 kilometer track, and you're going to be fighting it out all the way through. No one's going to be backing down from the fight this evening, especially with so much on the line. So, waiting for those finalization of our grid, which will tell us who is starting where. And there we go. Troy Dolenchik out in first place. Luke Lucchese in second. Jan Fourie in third. Fourth place, Jason Coetzee, followed by Noah Hendricks, Werner Schumann, Elena Radican, Tristan de Norbriga. A little bit further down, Timothy Stanton, Jeff Hancock, Stowe Herber, and Nico Killerman going and finishing up in 12th, moving on to our 13th position. That goes to Vezel Framatz, rounding out our grid for Heat 1. And I say Heat 1 because we're about to have a very, very exciting race out here in South Africa. It's been 36 degrees here in Gauteng, but I think it's about to get a whole lot hotter out there on the circuit for our final round of the F4s. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit that like button. Give all the support. I want to see the flames. I want to see the strong arms. I want to see all the support out in the grandstand for the final time. Our drivers will fight it out for the championship. So much on the line for our Pro and for our Pro-Am that there is no backing down from this. Noah Hendricks starting out in first place for Pro-Am. First time ever we'll be looking to do that. Troy Dolenchik and Luke Lucchese. Luke hoping to try and walk away with the championship this season. And Johan Fourie off to a bit of a rocky start. And now they dive down to turn 1. Not too busy, a couple of jockeying for positions, but take a look at Luke Lucchese instantly looking down the inside of Troy Dolenchik. Couldn't get it all sorted as they all run line astern at this point. Tristan Norbriga trying to carve his way through, getting a pass. Rutskin at the moment, and now trying to get a little bit more pace as he tucks in behind the likes of Noah Hendricks. Oh, we got a bit of a lock-up, and who is that going to be? That looked like it may have been a Jason Coetzee locking up and causing Jan Fourie to go out a little bit wide. So does Werner Schumann, looking to try and capitalize on it. Werner Schumann tucking into the toe of the likes of Fourie just ahead of him, pushing as hard as he can, outbreaks himself. Jason says thank you very much on that one. And now Werner's got no drive. Noah Hendricks getting past. Jeff Hancock's giving as much of a chase as he can to battle his way through, still jockeying for position. Alona Radican now also getting a little bit of pace, feeling the pressure from Timothy Stanton, currently our leader of the Pro-Ams. It is going to be a fight of note. Doug Herber a little bit down the order. Nico Killerman and Vezel Framatz still doing everything they can to try and power their way through. But up to our leaders as they nose to tail at this point. It is going to be a proper fight down to the wire for them, as Troy Dolenchik trying to open up an early gap away from Luke Lucchese, not getting too much of a run there. Then you have got Johan Fourie dealing with Jason Coetzee, who's right up his gearbox, does try and take a look into turn 1. So does Troy Dolenchik, having to go defending from Luke Lucchese as they battle their way through. And oh, who's that? That's Jeff Hancock's. Jeff Hancock's off into the wall. goes off circuit. And what happened to Jeff Hancock? Let's see if we can take a look. Oh, just over the sausage curb, bottoms out, loses the rev. He's able to bring it back, but that is going to cost him time as he's way down the order. So Jeff Hancock now has got a bit of work on his hands. Jan Ferree getting pushed out to the wide line as he goes side by side with Jason Coetzee, who's going to really try and get him on the brakes. Seeing the white in each other's eyes, Ferree tries to go for the cutback. Just couldn't get it all sorted. Jason Coetzee able to step on the gas and get a little bit more pace underneath him. Troy Dolanczyk and Luke Lucchese still nose to tail with one another, trying to push that little bit harder. Now, Luke Lucchese has been practicing for the Masters Series, which he is in charge of, but he said, I'm going to avoid the practice this evening. I am going to focus on my championship hopes tonight. Troy Dolanczyk said, well, you've got championship hopes. I am the defending champion. I've missed out a couple of rounds, so yeah, I'm a little bit down the order. But if you're going to be champion, I'm going to give you a championship fight for the final round. And that's what we're seeing here as former champion battling out with possibly our new champion. So Troy Dolanczyk holding the crown, and he wants to see if Luke Lucchese is deserving of the F4 crown as they fight their way side by side. No one giving an inch, but now it's heading towards turn 4, and I can hear Sergio Perez going and hustling around Carlos Sainz, and it does look like Luke Lucchese gets past Troy Dolanczyk, who had to go out wide. Jason Coetzee now seeing his teammate got the jump up the line is going to keep ahead of Jan Ferree as they fight their way through. Troy Dolanczyk does do a switcheroo though. Come around the outside, going to go late on the brakes. Just can't get barreled in correctly. And now Jason Coetzee trying to come around them. Will be carrying a fair chunk of momentum. He's pulling Jan Ferree along. And Tristan de Norbrigge is lurking around. He's up 3 positions from where he started, but he's got Werner Skuman constantly hounding him at this point, trying to push that little bit more. Jason Coetzee looks up to follow likes of Luke Lucchese, who loses out drive. Troy Dolanczyk now goes to the outside, defending tooth and nail as they fight their way through. Now it's 2 corners before they complete the lap. This is where you run out wide, like what we've seen with Troy Dolanczyk going and scoring an incident point like that. Not going to help him out. Jason Coetzee down in second. Luke Lucchese down in third. Jan Ferree, Tristan de Norbrigge, Werner Skuman. But I do want to talk about Noah Hendricks ahead of Timothy Stanton, Alona Radican, and Doug Herber fighting it out. Nico Killerman, Vassal from Mats, and Jeff Hancock's a little bit further down the order. But at the moment, as it stands, Timothy Stanton will do enough to hold on to our Pro-Am Championship. But take a look at this. Luke Lucchese, Jan Ferree, Tristan de Norbrigge, all trying to go side by side. Ferree dives up on the inside. Luke Lucchese put on the outside. Tristan de Norbrigge tried going for the inside. And Werner Skuman looking to try and fight it out as well. As you can hear on the radio, the guys are just working out saying, come on, buddy, we just got to get that little bit more. Tristan tries to go for the inside. Couldn't get it all booked up. Now looking to go after Luke Lucchese, who's going side by side with Jan Ferree, trying to go around the outside. Going to be hard work here. Can't quite do it as they do run out fairly wide. He's going to get pushed to the dirt. He's going to keep his foot on the throttle. Ferree having to back out. That's compromised his exit, and that allows Luke Lucchese to get right onto the back of him. And Tristan de Norbrigge also doing the same. Out in front, Troy Dolanczyk and Jason Coetzee are going to battle out. But the 3-car train heading into the second last corner. Well, there's a bit of a change up. Luke Lucchese getting ahead of Tristan de Norbrigge getting ahead of Luke Lucchese as he gets a little bit more pace. Both of them pushing themselves that little bit more, and I think there's a bit of thought process saying, come on Werner, keep your head in it here. We're going to have a proper fight. Let's push out to the front, not let these guys back down. Side by side for our first of our pros, it's Jason Coetzee and Troy Dolanczyk. They are going to be duking it out as they charge their way through. And taking a look, Doug Herber has gone off. Troy Dolanczyk trying to go for the cutback on Jason Coetzee. And we'll keep following this for the moment. But as they fight it out, let's see what happened to Dirk Huber, who is one of our runners for second place of our Pro-Ams. Very hopeful around the circuit. What happened to him? Oh, just losing the rear through turn 1. And that cost him a chunk of time. Jason Coetzee, Troy Dolanchik in front. Jason Coetzee does look to the inside line. Looks to hunt down that apex. Troy Dolanchik not backing down. Johan Faree following suit, keeping ahead of Luke Lucchesi. Remember, they are fighting in the championship as well. So Johan Faree ahead of Luke Lucchesi is a Luke Lucchesi problem as it stands. But what a train build-up. No one having the edge. No setup changes. The only thing you can do to these cars is change your brake bias to make it more comfortable for yourself. Jason Coetzee goes for a pass, loses out the drive through the final corner. Troy Dolanchik, though, goes out very, very wide, looking down for the inside line. He's going to try and force Jason to go for the middle of the circuit. Johan Faree saying, come on, guys, let's do this. Go side by side. Really looks up on the inside. Luke Lucchesi gets his drive absolutely murdered. And Luke Lucchesi getting ahead of Johan Faree, who gets pushed out of the train. Faree now stuck on the outside and has Tristan de Norbrigge and Luke Lucchesi, who are working as a team. Troy Dolanchik up on the inside, getting past Jason Coetzee. Luke Lucchesi trying to go for it. Johan Faree now dealing with Tristan de Norbrigge and Werner Skuman as it stands. But Noah Hendricks, seeing this little tussle ahead of him, will be looking forward to joining in the fight. Side-by-side action as they go. Jason locking up that inside, getting it sorted out. Troy Dolanchik out wide, runs over the dirt. So does Jason Coetzee. Luke Lucchesi says thank you very much. He's going to get past. Faree tries to go for the dirt and do a bit of rally cross. But still side-by-side action as they fight their way through. No one giving an inch on this one. Troy Dolanchik keeping ahead of Luke Lucchesi, who does run out a little bit wide, gets past. Jason Coetzee is going to keep into the toe. Faree dealing with Tristan de Norbrigge and Werner Skuman, who are utilizing their toe. But Troy Dolanchik has got a problem as he's got a side-by-side train. Luke Lucchesi forces him out wide. That is going to help Jason Coetzee to keep the inside line. And once again, Troy Dolanchik just getting forced out of the train. Werner Skuman, though, going on the fight to Tristan de Norbrigge, will go to the outside line. Johan Faree going after Jason Coetzee, as I am definitely running out of breath on this fight. Troy trying to defend his position. Jason Coetzee doing everything he can. Werner Skuman finding it out. Tristan de Norbrigge right there. And now Werner Skuman has got a Noah Hendricks problem. Noah Hendricks, who's leading out our Pro-Ams, is now getting involved in this fight. Troy Dolanchik going around the outside of Luke Lucchesi, forcing him as a very tight line, trying to kill that drive. And now Jason Coetzee keeping into the toe. Luke Lucchesi now needing to have a bit of assistance from his teammates if he wants to make this work, to try ensure that Tristan cannot get back onto it. The Sunjin driver now dealing with Luke Lucchesi up on the inside, side by side as they go wheel to wheel, not backing out. And take a look at Faree also trying to get involved in the fight. Jason Coetzee just seeing which gap is going to be available. What's going to work for him? Faree off the circuit. Faree off the circuit. And Luke Lucchesi also getting a bit of a run. So what happened to Faree? Let's see if we can go back and take a look. Oh, it just came over the nose of one of the RDSA drivers, and I think that was Tristan de Norbrigge, and cost him a fair amount of time. That threw him right out of it. As we got Daniel Fernandez watching on from the grandstands, you can see all the crowd super excited to be here tonight. Troy Dolanchik, Luke Lucchesi running out wide. They compromised his drive. Jason Coetzee saying, well, if you couldn't get the drive properly, I'm going to go for the pass then, and I am going to drag Tristan de Norbrigge with me. Werner Skuman saying, well, can I join the train as well? Looks to the inside line, goes and compromises and backs out of it. Side by side as Jason runs out wide. Werner Skuman capitalizing on it as Tristan de Norbrigge bottling up his teammate. And that has allowed Luke Lucchesi to get back onto the train as they fight their way through. Werner Skuman going to try go for the inside line. Going to go a little bit later on the brakes. Side by side with Tristan. And oh, they had contact. Contact between the two drivers. So, Troy Dolanchik, Jason could see who's got a bit of a bent wing, so that is going to compromise his drive down the straight. Luke Lucchese going to come back at him. Noah Hendricks has now found himself in a very valuable position on 4th place overall, while he gets a bit of spacing between 2nd place of our probes. Timothy Stanton, Nico Killerman and Vassal from Arts with Doug Herber try and chase down Jeff Hancock's landing into the pits, and I think he landed up with a bit of a problem as well. But out in front, Troy Dolanchik finally getting a sweat off the brow at that point. He's been working hard, but Jason Coetzee and Luke Lucchese, they're going to fight it out. Now remember, they might be part of the same team, the RDSA team, but there is no team orders here. Jason Coetzee has got a point to prove over Luke Lucchese, and with a damaged front wing, he's going to have a compromised corners, compromised straight line. Luke Lucchese, who is doing everything he can to score some valuable points, will look to go side by side with Jason as they make their way through into turn 4. It's going to be hard on the brakes. Just able to angle it just right. It does look like Jason able to get past and does bottle up the likes of Luke Lucchese. Noah Hendricks does try and take a bit of an advantage here. Look on the inside, giving a bit of a sneaky look and saying, hey, listen, I'm going to come fighting. But one person who we haven't spoken about, Alona Radican, now starting to get closer and closer. You can hear that Jaws theme song wanting to get involved in the fight. Jan Ferree, after his spin, just ahead of Werner Skuman, who has now got himself going. Tristan Norbrigger right onto the back of him. Timothy Stanton keeping ahead of Nico Killerman, who does try to look for the inside line. Couldn't get it all sorted out. Tristan Norbrigger looking to go on the inside of Werner Skuman, was a little bit too far out for it. Troy Dolanchik losing out the drive, and now it is Jason Coetzee and Luke Lucchese right onto one another. This is going to be a proper run to the drive. So, Radican now currently sitting 4th in Pro, chasing down 1st of Pro-Am ahead of him. But Luke Lucchese, Jason Coetzee, lying 2nd and 3rd in class and overall, have closed down the gap to Troy Dolanchik. And Troy Dolanchik not getting the same drive as he last did and starting to battle now. This is going to force him to figure out what's going to work for him, as Jason Coetzee and Luke Lucchese look like they're going to find it out. Luke Lucchese going to go for the outside line, second guesses it, allows Jason Coetzee to go and retake his racing line. Doesn't want to get into the fight just yet. Does look for the inside, look for the overcut. Couldn't get past, but it's going to be side by side as Jason's looking up on the inside of Troy Dolanchik, who's not going to back down from this fight. Side by side they go, heading down into turn 5. Hard on the brakes. And it does look like Jason Coetzee taking first place away from Troy Dolanchik. Troy trying to go for that inside line. Couldn't get it past. Luke Lucchese going to keep in tow. Looks to try go around the outside. Backs out of it as Troy Dolanchik goes in, closing off that door as quick as possible. And this is only Heat 1, ladies and gentlemen, of our RaceFace F4 Championship Season 2. Our final F4 round for 2023. So it's all on the cards for the drivers to score some maximum points as they battle it out side by side. And it does look like Troy Dolanchik forcing Jason Coetzee to take the wide line, losing out that drive, managing to retake first place. Jason Coetzee losing out the drive, and that allows Luke Lucchese, you can see, running to those limits constantly onto the gravel. But Jason Coetzee looks to the inside line. Troy Dolanchik tried forcing him towards the wall, runs over the curbing though. That is going to kill his drive. Troy Dolanchik saying, thank you very much, I'm going to have the drive. And that has put Jason Coetzee on the wrong side of the train as it looks to be Luke Lucchese diving right up against the rear gearbox. Noah Hendricks getting closer and closer as well. And I see Nico Killerman and it looks to be Timothy Stanton have come to blows. So we'll follow this through and then we'll try and take a quick look at what happened between Nico Killerman and Timothy Stanton as these two side by side. Troy Dolanchik and Jason Coetzee hard onto the brakes, and Troy Dolanchik just getting ahead. Jason does look for the inside line as it looks to be Troy Dolanchik locking up that front right. Does get a little bit of close action to one another in a single seater. Not quite what you want to do, but these two are going to fight it all the way out. Jason getting forced to the outside line as Troy really battling out. Troy Donchik and Jason Coetzee know each other all too well in the realm of single-seaters, both in sim and in real life, and they are going to do exactly that. We've seen this fight happen once before, as Jason comes across the nose of Troy Donchik. Troy taking the inside line, getting past. Jason tries to go for a cut back in, not able to do it. But take a look. Noah Hendricks feeling the pressure as Ruddikin has closed up. Now these two were keeping a distance away from Jason Coetzee, and now they have closed up to the fight. Does look like Luke Lucchese getting ahead of Jason Coetzee. Noah Hendricks now getting onto the battle as well as he closes down Luke Lucchese, looking to go up on the inside of Troy Dolenchik. Ruddikin also following suit with Noah Hendricks, keeping a very cool, calm head at the moment and focusing on the challenge at hand as Luke Lucchese getting past Troy Dolenchik. Jason Coetzee is going to look for the inside line. Noah Hendricks in 4th place. 5th overall is Ilona Ruddikin from across the waters, now putting in the fight. Noah Hendricks, our Pro-Am driver, looking to battle it out as he sees Troy Dolenchik lock up, trying to go on the inside of the likes of Luke Lucchese. Couldn't get it all sorted out. Jason Coetzee tried coming back at him, and Faree starting to creep into the picture once again with only less than 2 minutes to go. It is an outright charge between them all. Jason Coetzee, Luke Lucchese still going to fight it out. Jason runs out wide. Noah Hendricks follows suit. So now Noah Hendricks trying to get a little bit more pace right up against the rear gearbox of Luke Lucchese to give him a little bit of a helping hand to get past Jason Coetzee. Now Jason having to battle out. Noah Hendricks really getting into this fight as well, as they lost track of Troy Dolenchik, who stuck the hammer down and hoping to get a little bit more pace underneath him. Ruddikin now dealing with Faree, who's coming in, returning after a bit of an incident. Up on the inside line, side by side they go. Faree not backing out from this fight as they march their way through. Ruddikin dealing with the likes of a little bit of a blip there, and I think that is a bit of an internet issue as he is dealing with Faree going around the outside. Can book it with a bit more pace. Luke Lucchese dealing with fellow teammate Jason Coetzee at the moment. Noah Hendricks just looming in the wings at this point, watching his rearview mirror as he sees Faree and Ruddikin also fighting it out for position. Faree trying to force Ruddikin out a little bit further. Couldn't get it all sorted out. Ruddikin had to back out of that fight. Troy Dolenchik still leading out the charge. Luke Lucchese going and battling it out in 2nd place. Jason Coetzee currently in 3rd. Noah Hendricks in 4th, right up against the gearbox. Jan Faree recovering after a bit of contact early on as he tries to bring it back and keep those championship hopes alive, as Noah Hendricks bottoms out, loses out the drive, and will be dropping down. Jason Coetzee trying to do everything he can to get past Luke Lucchese, and Luke Lucchese, the wily old fox he is, going and marching him to the fringes of the circuit, saying, if you're going to get past me, buddy, you're going to have to work hard on this one. I'm not going to let it go down without a fight. Faree getting past Noah Hendricks without too much of an issue. Noah Hendricks has got Ruddikin, who's going to go around the outside. Ruddikin doing everything he can, and Troy Dolenchik. No possible way. Do my eyes deceive me? Have I gone blind? Troy Dolenchik has just blown his motor as they came across the line. So, but it just did enough. Troy Dolenchik, Luke Lucchese, Jason Coetzee, Johan Faree, Noah Hendricks, Ilona Ruddikin, Tristan de Norbrigger, and, got to give him a shot there, of the 3 RDSA team. There we go, guys. Something for the live stream, something to take home. The RDSA drivers who put up a phenomenal fight. Werner Skuman finishing out in 8th, 9th is Vassal Vermaat, Timothy Stanton, Doug Huber, Nico Killerman, and Jeff Hancock rounding out our field for Heat 1 as we wait for our results to come up. So, Troy Dolenchik taking the first in Pro, Luke Lucchese second in Pro, followed by Jason Coetzee, Jan Faree, Ilona Ruddikin, Tristan de Norbrigger, Werner Skuman, and Jeff Hancock rounding out our Pro. Moving on to our, moving on to our Pro-Am. I do apologize, getting confused, a little bit muddled up and getting confused at the time. Noah Hendricks taking his first ever pole position for Pro-Am. Vessel for Marts in second place, followed by Timothy Stanton, Doe Herber, and Nico Kilman rounding out our field. And what a finish. I can't tell you, my hands are shaking, my knees are shaking. I've got mom's spaghetti on my top from that amazing fight. But take a look at the amazing action we saw out there. And I can tell you, out in the grandstands, we have got some guys cheering through the roof at this point, supporting and really looking forward to, as we will be heading into Heat 2 momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. At 10 past, we will be starting our next heat, where it's got a 5-minute warm-up. It got your 15 minutes of qualifying and our 20 minutes of racing. Our final 20 minutes for the RaceFace F4 Season 2 Championship. Gotta say, really excited about it, and really been a proper fight. Let's remind ourselves of the championship as it stands for our Pro class. We have got Luke Lucchesi, Johan Free, Willem Buerta, Herman Lazarus, Timur Alvarek, Troy Dolenchik, Yuri Swart, Dino Sturman, Chase Harold, Jason Kutsi, Lana Radican, Artie Nachel, and David Poskov rounding out our field for our Pro. Moving on to our Pro-Am, Timothy Stanton, Doe Herber, Noah Hendricks, Lo Rangley, Daniel Fernandez, Vezel Vermaat, and Vladislav Makino rounding out our field tonight. And that is the championship standings going into this race. Maybe am I lucky enough to see that it will give us a bit of after that race? Nope. Haven't been able to do that, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm trying my luck with some future tech, gotta say. Going to be an interesting one. But let's see how it's all going to work out this evening, tonight, at the Red Bull Ring, as we get ready to rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me know out in the spectators, out there in the comments. Hit that subscribe button along with the bell notification icon. But let me know if you're enjoying the racing at hand. Who do you think is going to be able to take it? And who are you supporting for the final race, championship race? We do have a fun race. Now, let me go and bring that one on, because I want to just dial it in for everyone that doesn't know. We are having a fun 90-minute race at Road America, I think it is. That's going to be running this Sunday, the 10th of December, where we're going to have GT3, LMP2, and GTP all battling it out. Our LDMH cars versus our LMP2s and GT3. So much like an IMSA setup around legendary Road America, and that's open to everyone to join. Just head over to the SimGrid page and look up RaceFace.Pro. Go and follow for all our championships out there, and also go and sign yourself up for some amazing action out on the SimGrid. Gotta say, it's been a proper run, and we've seen a lot of new names, a lot of old names, and a lot more coming and racing. At the moment, we have got 4 entries for GT3, 2 entries for LMDH. No one for LMP2, though. That's a bit unfortunate. Our LMP2 is just not getting the same love as they used to. It's unfortunate. Very good car. Not personally my favorite, but hey, close enough. So, the GT3 drivers are currently entered for the Sunday is Doe Herber, Fonnie Gravestein, Furnace Swart, Devin Ellis also joining there. Devin Ellis returning after racing at the Britcar 24 hour this past weekend with myself and Janneman Price, who actually came 14th in class for that one. So he will be racing and making his debut run in the LDMH. Honor Cross and Miguel Silva, who is coming all the way from Portugal. Good to see that he's going to be having a bit of fun. For our LDMH cars, LMP2s, they're going to be missing any action. But who cares about that stuff right now, because we're going to be focusing on the RaceFace.Pro F4 League. And we're going to be seeing a monstrous championship as they fight their way through for the final heat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. the final heat for 2023 for our RaceFace.Pro F4 Championship. Much like we saw our championship TCR being rounded out and done and dusted